All right, everyone, hello and welcome to a new HRL update video. Don't remember the last time I did one of these, but we're doing one here post Eagle River races. So I'm going to answer one question right away. So you might be thinking like, okay, post Eagle River races, when are we getting the Lansing races? Well, if you haven't seen, as far as I'm aware, the Lansing films, or not the films rather, because the practice session that we did, because we unfortunately had to end it, I don't remember if we had to end it or if we just chose to reset. Whatever happened, we reset either way. The practice session film worked, but the actual race film did not. And as far as I could tell, I haven't heard from anybody that their film is watchable. So there's just a bug in Infinite where sometimes films just won't work. Sometimes you'll be in a game for an hour, and we weren't even in that one for that long. You know, it would have been shorter than the Eagle River film. We didn't do heats for it, and we reset before we did the features, so it'd be even shorter than the Eagle River film, and it's just gone. It's just, or rather, it's not gone. It's there. It's just inaccessible. You can't. It doesn't have the option to watch it. So, unfortunately, the Lansing race is lost to time, which is unfortunate. And I'll have to stream the races, which you might be wondering, like, okay, why, usually you do that anyways. Why'd you not start off doing that for these? And my answer to that is, one, I still need a new either PC or capture card. My capture card is not up to date enough for my current monitor, so I can't. I have to play in like 1080p 60, which is not fun. And on top of that, the lag. I don't want to. The lag is already bad enough in this game. I don't want to stream during the races because I don't want to make it worse. So it's like, if I stream the races live, which again, it sucks because I guess I'm going to have to now, not only am I making my experience worse because I have to play in 1080p 60 until I get new PC or capture card, not only do I have to play in 1080p 60, I also am putting myself at risk of, having even more lag issues than there already are. Which again, MCC races, not a problem. Not a problem, it's not a problem at all. Even the 1080p 60 thing, like those games are like that anyways, on old consoles. So, like, it's not a big deal for MCC. That I don't mind. But for Infinite, for those couple reasons, it's pretty frustrating. But regardless, I guess I'm probably just going to have to return to doing it anyways, just in case the film gets cheesed now, so that's unfortunate. Okay, so now that those things are out of the way, and I kind of mentioned it there a bit, but what is this update video really about? Well, it's basically about the ideas for what we're doing for the year post first week of Infinite Racing, because even though we had the roadmap was always best case scenario, right? The roadmap was always made as if things worked perfectly, and things don't always work perfectly. I mean, for example, last year we had, look at how much our plans changed last year. Last year we didn't plan on doing any of the MCC stuff. That ended up being most of what we did, and the Halo 5 run was going to last until September, and we ended up having a break, and then eventually ending it in, I think it was like June. So yeah, the plans changed a lot. Like, if you know what the original plans for that year were, they changed a lot. And that's just always going to be a thing. There's always going to be things that come up, and there's always going to be things that you learn. So it's just sort of an inherent thing that, I like having the roadmap. I like having the layout and, things that I want to do. But there's always that there's always that unpredictable factor where it's like, you don't know how things are going to play out. And again, the roadmap is always perfect scenario, which never happens, right? Best case scenario never happens. So you have to understand that when looking at something like the roadmap. So we're not cheesing everything, but I'll explain it a bit here. So basically, after the first week of Infinite, it's pretty apparent. I was hoping, I knew it probably wouldn't be great, or not probably, I knew it wouldn't be great lag-wise. I knew that was going to be the case. I think everybody that did any testing on this game knew that as well. It's not like I'm not making this video like, oh wow, I'm surprised at how bad it was. No, I wouldn't say that. I just hoped for more. I wanted to be optimistic about it, and I just hoped it'd be better, and it just wasn't. I knew that it probably wouldn't be great, but I didn't think it would be as bad as it was, I guess. Like, it was, my expectations were low, but holy fuck. Like, you know that meme? That's essentially how I feel about it. Like, that's essentially how I feel about it. So, like, I figured it would be bad. I didn't think it would be as abysmal as it was. You know, I was hoping that at least the go-kart season, you know, even if it was cheesy, it could still be fun and could still mess around. But, man, after 1 week, I was already like, yeah, this is going to get old real fast. Like, this is just going to get old fast. So immediately I wrote down some stuff and came up with some plans because already I know that things are going to have to change. So I want to go through those plans. And the plans, I'm calling them Protocol Cheese because I think it's funny. So Protocol Cheese is what we're enacting now. And it's basically just like a backup plan, you know, in case Infinite ended up being in the situation that it is now where it's just not ready. So what is Protocol Cheese? It's that backup plan. And it's, first of all, finishing out go-kart. We will finish what we started with go-kart. You know, we already did 4 motos. We already got 1 night in, committed to finishing it. So we're still going to run out go-kart to the end on March 10th. So we'll finish out go-kart. We'll start up Firestone Firehog soon, 19th of February. And we're going to continue Firestone Firehog on Sundays until go-kart is over. This is a big thing. Until go-kart is over. Once go-kart is over, we'll switch Firehog over to Fridays. And it'll be the only series. Like, we'll have Firehog and Go-Kart running for, I think, like 4 weeks, and then there'll be 4 or 5 weeks of Firehog where it's just Firehog. Firehog Fridays, there you go. That's got something to it. Where it'll just be like Firehog Fridays for like 5 weeks or so. So that's basically like backup plan for this first like season of the year. Finish Firehog in April, and then we'll take our break, few weeks break that we planned on anyways. And basically the plan with Infinite is to come back to Infinite periodically whenever there's updates to the game that are supposed to address server issues, that are supposed to address desync, in particular vehicle desync. That's basically the plan. So like once we're done with Go-Kart, we're essentially putting Infinite on hiatus until there's updates. And when there's updates, we'll do race nights. Not necessarily like test nights, but we'll just do like something that we haven't done before that I've always wanted to do, which is just do a race night, just do like a track or a couple tracks. And it doesn't have to be a tournament. It doesn't have to be a season, just like a lone, its own thing, like race night. That's always something that I've wanted to do anyways. Just like give us some room to do things on a whim more often, not everything like because sometimes with forging tracks and like how much effort it takes, sometimes like having to make a season out of everything. I don't know if like anybody can relate to this, but I find it kind of frustrating sometimes. Sometimes I want to just make like a one-off thing and just race it. It doesn't have to be a season. And I think the race nights thing is something that I've always wanted to do because I've always felt that way. I still like doing seasons, and I still want to do full seasons for certain things. But again, sometimes just make a track and just want to do a race on the track. And I'm sure, I hope at least like forgers, I'm sure people that forge tracks can probably relate to what I'm saying, how it'd be nice to just do like a race on their map and not necessarily like have to fit it into a season or have to wait for a season to race it. I'm sure you guys probably, I'm sure forgers especially probably relate to that. But yeah, we'll do that. For Infinite. So yeah, basically just not doing anything for Infinite after Go-Kart unless there are updates. And when there are updates, we'll come back to it. We'll check it out. We'll test it out, do some race nights. And if it's good, we still have those plans, right? The roadmap is still there. Like we still have those plans. It doesn't need to be on the timetable, right? Like we could still do those seasons. We could still fulfill those plans. Yeah, it sucks that we still have to wait. It sucks that it's been 1 year and 3 months, but it is what it is. So that's the plan. So what do we do until like for normal races, until it's fixed? So basically we're just moving what we're going to be like the season, like the secondary series. Basically just those are going to become like the primary series. Like we'll do, World of Outlaw, a new World of Outlaw season. Maybe even with some Halo 4 woos mixed in, maybe some new woo tracks I could cook up. I'm sure it's been a while. I could actually be inspired for it now. I was kind of running out of it at the end, but now that it's been a while, I could probably cook up some new ones. We could do like a full-fledged like woo season where that's what I'm kind of excited about is now we can do seasons for these series where like it's a full-fledged season, like we could do a lot more with woo. We could do a lot more with like TRS. We could do like the Rallycross series that we've always been planning on doing. So yeah, like World of Outlaw, I'll say like 99%. That's probably what we'll do after Firehog, and then potentially Rallycross, potentially TRS. Like we'll see. But essentially, the idea right now is like just move those secondary series up have those be the primary ones, and then, well, what about the secondary series? Like, are we just not going to run 2 series? My idea for that is I've wanted to do tournaments. I've wanted to do like tournaments here and there for a long time. So along with like the race nights thing, I wanted to do like one-off tournaments. So instead of doing like a secondary series like the whole time, we could have these, you know, primary series, and then every month or every month and a half or so, just do a random tournament. And that would also fill the void of what I already planned with this season, with there not being... Oh, and I'm showing the really cheese clip in the background, by the way. I'll show it a couple times here at the end because just to illustrate how bad the lag is, if you didn't see this clip already. But yeah, so basically it'll like kind of fill that void where like there won't be the grand finals. So it's like we'll do these like tournaments here and there, come up with different ideas for them, and then that'll give us some extra racing to do. But it'll feel a little bit better, I think, because instead of having 2 series running at the same time, like I think a lot of people probably feel what I'm saying here, how it can like kind of wear you down a little bit. I think just having the 1 series and then having the tournaments sprinkled throughout and doing a lot of that extra racing just on like one night every once in a while, I think that'll feel a lot better. I'm curious what everybody else thinks about that. I think that'll feel a lot better. And I think it'll be cool too. Like, I'm just trying to take advantage of this, right? I'm trying to take advantage of this. Like, obviously we wanted Infinite to work out. We didn't want to have to do this like hiatus thing, but I'm trying to take advantage of it. I'm trying to still do a lot of the things that we wanted to do this year. And I want to try to do like new cool stuff as well, and like just make it worthwhile. You know, instead of looking at this Infinite thing in a negative way, I'm trying to, you know, find a positive outtake of it and find a way to make it into a good thing, essentially. So that's what I've got. Let me know what you guys think. Yeah, anything. I'll probably do another video on it because there's so much more to say. But yeah, all the thoughts. Let me know in the comments, and see you guys next time. And hope you appreciate the update. Of course, wanted to try to stay transparent with this, but yeah, that's pretty much it. See you guys later.